Hello guys, in this video we're just going to be looking at features in a cast diagram, and then that definitely will be leading us to the reduction formula. Now, dealing with the cast diagram, remember the features that are given. You guys did all of this in grade 11. From the cast diagram, you know that's between 0 and 90, 90 and 180. Okay, in the first quadrant, we understand that all the trig ratios are positive. And then in the second quadrant, only sine is positive. And in the third quadrant, only tan is positive. In the fourth quadrant, only cos is positive. We know all these things from grade 11. And then along x-axis, we will take 360 plus theta, that is in the first quadrant, or 720 plus theta. This 720 comes in when you have the second revolution. In the second quadrant, you have 180 minus theta, that is 180 along the x-axis minus theta, or 540 minus theta. In the the third quadrant, you have 180 plus theta along the x-axis, or 540 plus theta. And then in the last quadrant, which is the fourth quadrant, you have 360 minus theta, or 720 minus theta. That is along the x-axis. Along the y-axis, in the first quadrant will be 90 minus theta. In the second quadrant, 90 plus theta. In the third quadrant, 270 plus theta minus theta. In the fourth quadrant, 270 plus theta. So along the y-axis, we take angles that are along the y-axis. That is 270, 630, 90, and 440. And then along the x-axis, we take the angles, spatial angles that are along the x-axis. That is 360 and 180, or 720 and 540. Now, deductions from your grade 11 that were taken from the cast diagram. You know, along from the x-axis, if I take sine of that, I'll get a positive sign. And then cos of 180 minus theta, I'll get a negative cos. Tan 180 minus theta, I'll get a negative tan. Meaning, this comes from from the second quadrant, telling us that only sine is positive. In the third quadrant, sine where 180 plus theta, okay, take sine 180 plus theta, you get minus sine, cos 180 plus theta is minus cos, and then tan will give you a positive tan. That means in the third quadrant, only tan is positive. In the fourth quadrant, that is where we have 360 minus theta. Take sine 360 minus theta, you get a negative sine. Cos 360 minus theta, you get a positive cos. Tan 360 minus theta, you get a negative tan. So in conclusion, you find that only cos, in this case, which is in the fourth quadrant, will give you a positive. Now, concluding all these deductions from the x-axis, along the x-axis, when you are reducing, the functions always maintain their trig ratios along the x-axis. The trig ratios are maintained. This is what I'm talking about. If you have sine, you get your answer as sine. If you take a cos, you get your answer as a cos. If you get sine in the fourth quadrant, you still get sine. If you get tan or cos in the fourth quadrant, you still get tan and cos. So our trig ratios are maintained. Coming to deductions from your y-axis, you have from the first quadrant, look at this, from the first and the second quadrant, where 90 is subtracted with theta. In the first quadrant, you find that sine 90 minus theta will give you a positive cos. Cos 90 minus theta will give you a positive sine. Sine 90 plus theta will give you a positive cos, that is the second quadrant. Cos 90 plus theta will give you a negative sine, that is in the second quadrant. In the third quadrant, sine 270 minus theta, which is that, will give you a negative cos, right? Cos 270 minus theta will give you a negative sine. So a negative comes from sine. Since sine in the third quadrant is negative, so it will be negative, then it will change to its co-function, which is cos of theta. Then cos is negative in the third quadrant, which is that, but now the cos will change to its co-function, which is sine theta. In the fourth quadrant, the same thing. Sine in the fourth quadrant is negative. So since sine is negative, therefore you have the negative, but then sine will change to its co-function, which is theta. The same applies to cos. Cos in the fourth quadrant is positive, so it will remain positive, but it will change to its co-function, which gives you sine theta. In conclusion, when you are reducing, the functions change their trig ratios to their co-functions along the y-axis. So that means all the angles from the angles along the y-axis during reduction, as we'll be reducing, we will see that our functions change their trig ratios. So the trig ratios now in this case will change to their co-functions. This is what I'm talking about. The sine ratio will change to cos ratio. The cos ratio will change to sine ratio. The cos ratio will change to sine ratio. The sine ratio will change to cos ratio. The sine ratio, cos ratio to sine ratio. So that's how the trig ratios change to their co-functions.